welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's June 28th, 2023. It's a beautiful day out. Yeah, I think kind of. It's 25, feels like 33 outside, so very muggy. It was raining earlier this morning. It's not raining now. It's kind of clouded over, but it is getting a little bit toasty, which is nice. I'm glad that the weather is picking up and we're getting a little warmer weather out there. Let's just hope the rain stays away. I know we've been having, last night it was incredible. The sky just opened up and it just poured down for like an hour and then it stopped. And we were able to go out for a walk in the neighborhood and everything was okay. It was just really hot and muggy after. So we'll see if it continues that way. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about two things. I wanted to continue talking about Canadian stamps that were issued in the catalog form. We're up to the year 2014. This is the collector series that came out in 2014. So we're going to talk about that today. Also, there was a new stamp issued at Canada Post. Yes, another new stamp was issued at Canada Post. So at the end of the video, we're going to talk about that too, and I'll show you the new stamp. So you can either stick around and watch 2014, how it unfolds, or you can fast forward to the end and see what the new stamp is. All right, let's get into 2014. All right, here we go. 2014 slides out like so. We open up the book. We have an appendix, of course, a glossary. And we're starting with the Little Prince. So this is the first child born of William and Kate. And there is Prince George Alexander being welcomed in. The Year of the Horse. You can see a nice snow sculpture of a horse, but there's the actual stamp, or stampsa. There's the 185 cent and the 63 cent that came out. The Spirit Survived. We're talking about Africville, symbol and struggle for equality. And here are the stamps that represented Africville and our Black community that's in the area. So there's two Hogan's Alley and Africville issued stamps. Then we get into true champions. We're looking at curlers and figure skaters and all sorts of things. Here are the stamps. It's beautiful figure skating. There's a set of 3 that came out. My father's just put an extra one down below that's been canceled. But there's our skiers, curlers, and figure skaters. Then Canada's National Treasures. We're talking about the park system. Some beautiful pictures. You can see there's even fossils that are represented there. And then we get into the tiny stamps. You see a lot of tiny stamps that are out there. Let me show you the different parks that are across. So this is a series of 5. Once again, my father has put some canceled ones at the bottom. I don't know why he does that, but he did. So it's his collection. He can do with it the way he wants to do with it. And here we're talking about the different stamps that are represented. Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump in Alberta, the Rideau Canal in Ontario, Escangawa in British Columbia. There are some beautiful stamps. Including Grand Pré in Nova Scotia and the Old Town in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. So 2 new. And then we get some animal stamps, the beavers and mountain goats and puffins. And there are the stamps. Try to get away the glare. Some nice looking stamps. And then we get into some butterflies. The 22 cent butterfly came out. The 6 million objects in one museum. So we have some museum stamps. I think that's the best angle to see those at. Nice and close. 3,000 Years of Romance. We have the rose. We have a white and a red rose. Continuous Journey. This is the 100th anniversary see the crowded deck of the 100th anniversary of the ship. Canada goes to the movies. Oh, there's a theme there. You will see why. See the different aspects of the movies, different movies that are out. And the reason why, here are the stamps. I don't ever remember these stamps being on any envelopes or anything like that, so it's the first time for me seeing those, really. Canada's Lost Empress, the Empress of Ireland. Beautiful souvenir sheet, and then the actual issue stamps that are there too. So you've got the forever stamps, the one with the P, and then the $2.50 stamp. Haunted Canada. Oh, be very careful if you're watching this. You're easily frightened. Here are some ghost stories that have taken place in Canada. The Ghost Bride of Banff, Alberta. The Haunted Fort of Niagara-on-the-Lake in Ontario. And the St. Louis Ghost Train in St. Louis, Saskatchewan. And the French Governor of Quebec City, Quebec. And they're all represented here. I like them because there's a bit of hologram in them too. You see that? It says Haunted Canada in hologram. But still come visit. It's a nice country, even if it's haunted. And then the Red Blacks. So we have the CFL team represented in these stamps. And a wealth of inspiration, and we've got a photography stamps that are coming out, and a bunch of different people that are represented there. We won't linger on it. If you get the book, you can read all about it, but here's 150 years of photography. And then he also has the souvenir sheet one. Legacy of Music from Katie Lang to Tommy Hunter, who had his own television show. You can see him there. Oh, bend him down there. You can see Tommy Hunter. Shania Twain, who was recently in Moncton last week or the week before. She did 2 shows here. Hank Snow, Renee Martel. Here are the stamps that came out to represent those country artists. Beacon of Hope, so it's a new museum stamp. The funniest country on earth. So here we've got Mike Myers doing a few of his impressions, a few of his characters, whether it's Wayne from Wayne's World or Austin Powers. We've got Jim Carrey. Maybe some of these people you didn't know were Canadian, doing The Mask or Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. How about Martin Short? Ed Grimley. Catherine O'Hare. All amazing comedians. Oliver Guimont. And there are their stamps. Mike Myers, Martin Short, Catherine O'Hare, Oliver Guimont, and Jim Carrey. And we have a Canada Children's stamp. So this is one of those charity stamps that if you were to buy the pack, a portion goes to the Canada Post Foundation for charities. Then the original 6 hockey teams. You can see there's the Montreal Canadiens and the Detroit Red Wings, or the Montreal Canadiens and the Boston Bruins. Toronto Maple Leafs, the New York Rangers, Chicago Blackhawks, Boston Bruins. And cup winners along the way. great defenders. So you've got Bobby Orr, Harry Howell, Tim Horton. Those of you who didn't know that Tim Horton was a hockey player, there he is in his Toronto Maple Leafs before he became a coffee chain. Here are the stamps representing those 6 players. Red Kelly was the 6th, I didn't mention him. And then here are the smaller stamps showing all the original 6 teams. Actually, not the original 6 teams, the Canadian teams with their Zambonis. Unforgettable image. The son trying to reach out for his father's hand as all the soldiers go off to war. It's the Remembrance Stamp Day from 2014. And here we have the Christmas stamp that was issued. Nativity. And then these 3 holiday stamps with Santa Claus in various forms. And then we're at the end explaining all the stamps. Voila, Canada Collection 2014, and what I like it says at the top, the stamps and the stories that define us. I hope you're enjoying these trips down memory lane, going through the different years of collections of stamps that have been coming out from Canada throughout the years. I know we're getting closer to present day, but 2014, we still have a few more years yet to get to present day, and then we'll see where we go from there. But probably get into some other countries. The other thing I wanted to tell you, you stuck around this long, you're probably waiting for this, was the new issue stamp. This is Dennis Arcand, nice black and white. And has this great stamp. You can see how it's made to look like a negative from a film. That because he's an acclaimed filmmaker. He was born in 1941 in Quebec, raised in Deschambault in Quebec, the province of Quebec. Began his career as a documentarian. He went to the University of Montreal. And it says here, the insightful and provocative director, screenwriter later turned to fiction, where he found greater freedom to explore the uncomfortable realities of modern society. His award-winning works include Le Déclin de l'Empire américain. So I'll throw the picture up, because you'll also see it in English, which is The Decline of the American Empire, which came out in 1986. It was winner of the International Film Critics Award at the Festival de Cannes. He also did Jésus de Montréal in 1989, or Jesus of Montreal, which garnered dozens of Genie Awards. And then the Invasion Barbare, or the Barbarian Invasion, in 2003, which won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, a first for Quebec. So yeah, so I've thrown up a few pictures there so you can see along the way too. Yeah, he's done some amazing artwork, some amazing films and documentary work. So he has been recognized this year at the end of the month here with a new stamp. So that's fantastic. There is another series of stamps that's coming up in July. I don't suspect it's going to come at the start of July, but maybe towards the middle or end. And it's going to be on the ferries of of Canada. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out for that. And what size? Are they going to be little tiny stamps? Are they going to be nice big stamps? I'm very curious what comes out. So you have to stay tuned. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed, like, leave me a comment, and share with other people. Let's keep this ball rolling in the right direction and see where we go from here. Have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?